champions.
So what was it back then that you started like getting into cooking? Because maybe the people that see us right now doesn't know that you own a business that prepares ready-meal plans.
Oh yeah, so we spoke about a lot of interesting stuff this morning. Let's I mean, I don't want to use this opportunity just to promote my business because
we love to.
Because I want to also have fun with you guys. And
of course.
And this guy here, he makes some interesting points. he's the one that makes me talk about other stuff.
He's been known for this.
He fires these very provoking points.
We were 100% sure that you two guys
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. But next time I'm bringing pen and paper. I mean, this guy, you can't take him on with no pen and paper. You must make notes.
He's the question king.
He fires 4, boom, 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 5 like major topics in one sentence. Okay.
I wanna talk whatever you wanna talk.
I'm also whatever. Listen, firstly, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, when people see me, I see especially in Cyprus because I'm really big. I'm full of tattoos. I've got the beard. And people don't approach me.
You stand out. You stand out.
Yeah, I stand out, but I see people are like, I can't talk to this guy. And this is opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to say, you know, I'm actually quite a nice guy. You know, you can talk to me. You know, I'm actually in deep side down. I'm a bit of a nerd. Like I'm a bit of a nerd. I like read a lot. All I've got in Calabasas is a bedroom and a library. You know, I don't even own a TV. I like to read. So I'm a bit of a nerd.
You need to wear your glasses more often.
I need to put my glasses on. Maybe then people will approach me. Yeah. So my biggest thing with you know, if you go to gym, there's a couple of things that needs to come together for good health. I'm just busy reading the Peter Attia book. I can't remember what it's called, but he makes a distinction between lifespan and health span. And he shows how important exercise is. I think we spoke about it last time. I was blown away to find out that if you go from 0 exercise, that means you're someone who sit at home, you don't exercise at all, and you go from 0 exercise to exercising 3 times 1 hour a day. That means 3 days a week, 1 hour a day. You will decrease your possibility to die from all causes, including cancer, by 50%. That's how important exercise is. So exercise is extremely important. If you're sitting at home, you're listening to this and you don't exercise, just start. You know, the benefits from exercising, you know, you go exercise, your immune system boosts, you fight off cancer, you fight off heart disease, you fight off high blood pressure, you fight off mental illnesses. I mean, even Alzheimer's, from exercising 3 hours a week, 1 hours a week, you decrease your chances from getting mental diseses by 50%.
Yeah, Alzheimer's, all this kind of stuff.
It's crazy, the benefit.
It's mental.
Depression.
Depression, Alzheimer's, it's so many things. But that being said, with exercise goes nutrition. So I see a lot of people, they go to gym and they say, look, I train really hard. I'm putting in 1 hour, 7 days a week. But, you know, I'm not achieving the goals like someone else they see in the gym. And usually what's missing is the nutrition. As soon as you tweak your nutrition, boom, that's the magic. You know, to create a perfect storm, you can't just have the rain and the thunder. You need the rain and the thunder and the wind and the snow and the, you know, and the right temperature and then you've got the perfect storm. To create the perfect storm with good health, you need exercise and you need nutrition. It goes hand in hand. The biggest problem I've had my whole life was when I'm busy and I'm working, and I used to run a whole lot of different businesses. And when I ran all these different businesses and I'm busy working, I never had a chance to cook. And as soon as my nutrition went out the window, then my goals, I didn't get my goals. So in South Africa, there's a company there called Fit Chef, Wayne Kamansky, a very nice guy, good friend of mine. Shout out to Fit Chef. We worked with Fit Chef. They did a really good job. I wanted to bring a different concept to Cyprus. I wanted to bring good nutrition, convenience, and no food wastage. So the way I designed the business, I said, okay, we will create recipes that I've worked with for 30 years, but if you eat a chicken breast, the worst thing, I remember John Leslie, the one time, that bodybuilder we spoke about, I said to him, John, do you ever lose your temper? Because he never loses his temper. He says, yes, once I lost my temper. I said, once? I said, the man, to give you an idea, he's I think he's 1.74 meter tall, or maybe 1.78, I'm not sure, 1.74, 1.78. He's 135 kilos on 7% body fat. Okay? He's a monster. Oof. He says once he lost his temper and he hit his kitchen cupboard like this. I said, why did you lose your temper? My chicken was dry. my chicken was dry. So I'm like, okay, so your chicken was dry. So your chicken was dry and you lost your temper. Yes, my chicken was dry. So from that, I realized, listen, people want to eat healthy, but you don't want to eat dry chicken. So I've got these recipes that I've put together through the years to make sure the chicken doesn't go dry. Your chicken is nice and juicy, and it's tasty, because good, healthy food can taste good. So I put all these recipes together. I made high carbohydrate recipes. I made low carbohydrate recipes. I checked the calories all around about 500 calories per meal. I try not to go over about 650 per meal. So when you eat your meal, if you eat 3 meals a day, you're still on 1,500 calories. If you eat another small meal, you'll be on about 1,800 calories. So I worked these recipes out, precision work. And I've got 67 of these recipes. Eventually, I want to have 100. So I want people to have a huge variety. We also made one thing we make. We take the chicken breast and we make it fine, we mince it fine, and we put it in sausages.
Yeah, we tried that.
Yeah. How did you try it? We take it. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It tastes amazing, by the way.
So we make our own chicken breast sausages. And when you eat it, it's so juicy, you won't believe it's chicken breast.
Wait, is it the one with the lettuce?
What did we have? Which one did we have?
I think it was last week.
The one with the cabbage. Yeah?
With
cabbage,
the cabbage,
yeah.
yes. We had the one with the cabbage.
Yeah.
And I think we had the one with the cabbage and the mash. I think so.
Is it the same that you were talking about?
Same.
Nice.
So those chicken sausages, we make them on the premises. You won't believe that chicken sausage you had is 97% just chicken breast. And then I've got some secret ingredients that I put in to keep it juicy.
Nice.
But I'm not going to say what that is. Okay? So it's super nice. You can eat one of those. It's the easiest way to eat your chicken breast. And also what I like about mincing the chicken breast, it's pre-digestive. Okay, what does that mean? So if you eat the chicken breast and you don't chew it well, your body don't absorb the chicken breast as well as what it should, because you have to chew. You should realistically chew your food
until it becomes paste.
Yes, but a lot of people like myself, I don't have time. I don't chew very well. I 2 bites and then I swallow like a savage. So I eat like that. So for me,
a Viking,
like a proper Viking.
Yeah, like I just eat it. So I like these sausages because I mince the meat fine. It's pre-digestive. It's almost like it's better than if I chew it myself. I just swallow the sausage and it gets taken up by my system. So we make these sausages. We make best chicken schnitzels in Cyprus.
So you don't save people's time just preparing their meals. You also save their time
chewing time, yes. So we also save them time chewing because we pre-mince our chicken breast and we put it in the sausages for you. So you don't have to even chew. So that's the first, is the recipes. But the main advantage is the way we put the recipes together. I showed you guys the facilities. We've got big blast chillers that we brought from Italy. So we cook the food at 180 degrees or below. We don't take the heat up. When you cook at a certain temperature in the oven, your food tastes better. Your oils stay in place. Your oils we only use olive oil. We don't use butter. We don't use seed oils. We don't use sunflower oils. Only olive oil. We only use olive oil. No butter, no seed oils. Seed oils is carcinogenic. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
I mean, the big corporate companies are going to hate me for saying this. guys, we're onto you. We know it's carcinogenic. We know it causes cancer. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to find another business because seed oil is a problem. And as people start figuring this out, they're going to figure out why they've got so much cancer, why they've got so much diabetes from the seed oils. So we only do olive oil. Olive oil is the best oil by far. You guys are very lucky. You live in the heart of olive oil. The best olive oil in the world is here. Some of the best olive oil I found here was like from King of Olives on the way to Larnaca. Unbelievable quality of olive oil. So unbelievable. So for us in South Africa, we had to import the olive oils from here to us to do the same recipes. Yeah, I can just buy it locally. So huge advantage. I don't know why anyone in Cyprus would cook with anything else than olive oil. I just don't understand.
Because it's expensive. The olive oil.
That's the only.
Seed oil is cheap, but it's not worth it. It's 100%. Not worth it. It causes cancer. The studies are well documented. It's not even a secret anymore. It causes cancer. It causes obesity. It's causing a lot of problems. So we cook that at 180 degrees. At most, we put in a little bit of olive oil. We make sure the food stays moist. We blast chill the food. So we blast it from 180 degrees down to, we've got these big blast chillers. We pack the food in there. We go from 180 to 3 degrees. We stabilize the food at 3. When we do that, the reason it works so well is the moisture stays in the food, the consistency of the ingredients, your nutrients is captured, and your food don't denature. So the way the food was when you just cooked it, when you blast chill it, you stop the food in that moment, and it stays just like that. Then what we do is we portion the food in trays, we extract the oxygen. So we take all the oxygen from the food, so your food don't oxidize. The only way to keep your food fresh is to not let it touch oxygen. There's no other way. I've cooked at home in South Africa. We used to cook on a Sunday night. You cook for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The problem is by Tuesday, the food you made from Sunday tastes like rubber. You can't keep the food fresh. Even if I wake up in the morning 3 o'clock, and we spoke about it as well. If you wake up at 3 o'clock, you cook all your food for the day. Now you pack it in lunch boxes, but it's got oxygen touching the food. By 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the food's not fresh anymore. By that evening, even if you cooked in the morning, by the evening, the food's not fresh anymore. Now the food starts, it starts denaturing. The food starts becoming rubbery. Bacteria starts forming. It's not possible. And if you have to eat 3-4 times a day to be healthy, you can't stand in the kitchen for 4 times a day.
That's true.
You've got a job to do. You want to go to work. You want to go do other things.
That's the reason most of the people don't exercise.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, because you've got other things to. If you're a professional person and you get paid whatever per hour, you have to ask yourself: if I'm standing in front of an oven cooking, what is my hourly rate at work? If you get paid 10 or 15 euro an hour, and you're spending 3 hours a day cooking, that's 45 euro. Then it's cheaper to buy from me. It's cheaper to buy from me if you're a professional than to use your time cooking. You should use your time doing your work.
And you're cheaper than most of the
listen, my stuff is very well
fast
priced.
food. And that's nuts.
It's crazy. I mean, I used to, what I did in the beginning, I used to give the people a lot of free food. I don't do that anymore. I took the free food away. Now I lowered the price, no free food, but a lower price and discounts. So I give them discounts. I incentivize them. If they buy between 25 and 50 euro, 5% discount, 50 to 100 euro, 10% discount, 100 euro more, 15% discount. And then I've got a special structure for the coaches and the sponsored athletes where I work something a little bit different for them. But that's the price. But I mean, average chicken sausage meal will be about €7.80, and you can get up to 15%. If you work that out, it comes to like close to under €6 for a meal. You can't. And that's a 350 gram meal. It's a big meal. And it's got a lot of protein. It's got like 200 gram of chicken breasting. I put a lot of protein in my food.
Yeah, and protein is one of the things that many people struggle to get by the end of the day. And it's expensive.
It's expensive,
yeah.
When you're a huge guy, you struggle with your meals, 5, 6, 7 meals a day.
Can't do it.
When you're a huge professional athlete, you have to be in the kitchen
Not even
5 hours a day.
Half of the
5
day.
hours a day.
You
can't
can't
do
do
it.
not even being an athlete, just a normal guy.
Gym rat. Just a gym
Just a
rat.
gym rat. If you're a gym rat, maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you're
Maybe
an
you're a
attorney,
lawyer, yeah.
but you're a gym rat lawyer. Now if you're a lawyer, you earn, how much you earn an hour. Now you're going to spend 5 of your hours cooking. It's a waste of your time if you're a professional. So what we do is we're trying to fix that for the people. So we take the oxygen out the food, we put special food gases inside. The food gas we put inside is my own mix, which I've tweaked. I know exactly, and that's my intellectual property as well. My recipes, my food gases, and my process is my intellectual property. So I don't give too much details on that because I don't want people to copy me. So I take the food gas, I put that inside, and then I've got a slogan I use. I say, when you buy your food, buy it, freeze it for 7 days, or freeze it for 5 months. Option A, freeze it. Option B, freeze it. Most of my clients come to the shop, they buy the food, they just put it in the fridge because you've got 7 days. So
you can buy the food
you buy
for the whole
for
week.
7 days, you put in the fridge. From the fridge, you take your meal back out, you pop it in the oven or in the microwave. But the pack can go in the oven. Our oven tastes better. When I heated our food up for us, we did it in the oven.
You have only one shop in Limassol? Only one?
Only one shop. But we deliver to Pafar.
Deliver
to Pafar, Larnaca, and
That's a new client here, you see?
I have a very lazy friend.
Oh, okay.
He would be interested.
He would be so much interested. He asked me, I can't cook. I am at work 12 hours a day. Okay. And I said to him, no one can cook healthy for you if you can't do it yourself. So
we can fix this problem.
I need someone to deliver me a healthy food.
Yes, so we'll do it. That's what we do. The courier comes to the shop every morning at 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock they leave. By lunchtime they deliver all the cities. Okay. I pack it in a box for them with ice packs on top. They do it like this in America. I mean, we know Trifecta, Icon Foods in America. In South Africa, we've got Fit Chef. So this concept is not new. We've worked with it for many years, but it's new to Cyprus. It's new to Cyprus. And
it's very, very needed.
It's very needed. It's very new. Because it's new, it will take longer to get into the market because people need to learn the concept. But the advantage is we've got no competition. Like no one does what we do. So it's a bit of a blue ocean market, which means, we will set the pace. So we will be the first in here, and we will go forward, and everyone will follow us. That's what's going to happen.
You're not there you wanna be yet. You're not there yet.
Luis, I'm semi-retired, so to be honest, I don't need the money.
Okay.
I'm doing this because I love doing this. So I'm not pushing. I'm just letting it organically grow.
Yeah, exactly.
I can push if I want.
Organic is the way.
You had an idea, and if it works, it works.
Yeah.
You enjoy the journey, basically.
I'm enjoying the journey. If I don't have to work, I will run out of my savings maybe in 20 years' time. So then I'm 70 years old, who cares? But anyway, so from now to then, I'll be selling healthy food and I'll be making people's lives. I've got a lot of really good customers. I've changed a lot of lives already, and it's very positive. My one client lost 17 kilograms already. He was very overweight.
That's huge.
He's in shape now. Another client had a big stomach. Boom, the stomach is down. One of my lady clients, she suffers with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and we gave her the food. It fixed the irritable bowel syndrome, and she lost 2 kilos in the first week.
It has a lot of a lot of symptoms. Let's say some of the symptoms might be bloating.
Yes.
Okay. Digestion.
Yeah, digestion.
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
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 Gas, all this kind of
disordered.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Irritable bowel syndrome. I've got a lot of clients who have got some interesting problems that they're dealing with, and we're resolving these problems for the clients, and it makes me really happy. You know, I went to deliver food yesterday at a young lady. She's about 26 years old. She's a professional dancer. And she said to me, and when I delivered the food, she said to me, "Oh, I'm so happy that you guys are doing this. I just put the food in the fridge. I can focus on my work, and I can focus on my dancing, and I've got my stomach is perfect, no bloating, no nothing, and I'm losing weight, and I've got energy."
That's a huge frustration for people.
Yes, and
Thinking about what time I'm gonna cook.
yes.
What am I gonna
It's
eat?
a lot of preparation behind it.
It's
basically.
a lot Yanis, it's a lot of preparation. So I'm not, the point is, I'm not going anywhere in a hurry. I've got enough money to carry my business for 20 years. So I wanted to work. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to change lives. I also enjoy doing business like that. I enjoy doing business where you change lives. I believe you change lives, and if you're in the business of changing lives and you're making a fair profit to change lives tomorrow and the day after, nobody minds to give you a little bit of profit so you can carry on changing lives tomorrow and the day after. If you're in the business to change lives, it's sustainable.
Yeah.
And it gets you fulfilled as well.
Yeah.
It's very
When a
fulfilling.
client comes,
It's very
and
fulfilling.
It's your
says-
legacy. Your legacy.
Not only, but when a client comes to you and say, "Oh, you did this to me, you did this to
it's
me,"
very
you feel
nice.
like I feel fulfilled.
It's purposeful. It's got a
Purposeful.
purpose.
And you feel so
Yeah.
grateful that you're doing this as well.
Yeah, of course,
listen,
of
it makes me. And we've got such. I mean, we've got. Like I said, we've had so far. We had I think 2 complaints. The one complaint was something stupid. We had our one mixer machine that mixes, and the shaft broke of the mixer while we were mixing the mashed potato. It's a big industrial machine, and the ball bearing of the thing fell in the mashed potato, but we didn't know it went in the mashed potato. But it was one of our machines that broke, and it went out to a client, and they found the ball bearing in the mashed potato, and I realized it was. So we had stupid complaints like
Yeah,
that,
okay.
But apart from that,
Shit happens.
listen, we're all human, so we could, and I'm sure there's going to still be more mistakes. The more meals you sell, we sold 10,000 meals already by March. We sold about 10,000 meals. And I was like, wow, I can't believe we already sold 10,000 meals. And we had like 2 stupid complaints of like something that fell into the mashed potato. Okay, that happens, But all in all, the feedback has been unbelievable.
How long is Nutribar?
We started opening. We opened the Nutribar existed before with Anna, and then we closed it down and we rebuilt Nutribar with all the new technologies, and we opened the new Nutribar in January. This year, January.
And you sold 10,000 meals.
By March.
By March.
Well, we already now
nuts.
So we already sold 10,000 meals by March. Yeah, so it's good. I mean,
4 months, 3 months,
3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, so already and we got our new boxes yesterday. We got another 13,000 boxes. And that's how I know when I sell, because when I sell all, and I don't have boxes left, I know I've sold all the meals. That's how I count.
That's good
and
news.
we got the new boxes that arrived, 13,000 boxes. So now, like I said, guys, I just want to. It's a positive. It's a feel-good business. It's really great when you're walking down the street and your client's waving from the other side of the road and you go, "Hey, hello, Mr. Nutribar. Look, my stomach is down. Hello, Mr.
I love that
Nutribar."
chicken breast.
My one client is telling me, when I make love now,
Oh,
I'm so much stronger.
Okay.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. I didn't mean that to do that, but okay, And he's telling me, you must see me now. I'm a machine. And I'm saying, what do you mean? Like one customer is telling me that. I'm like, okay. He says, no.
It's a good testimonial.
Since I'm leaner, he says, you must see me. I'm a machine. I'm like, okay. So, but it's all good, It's all positive. That's what I like
So
about it.
because we experienced like a Nutribar and the quality of the food when you invited us there, That's why we also invited you to come here and share.
Thank you so
all
much.
this kind of
Chris, thank
stuff.
you so much. Listen, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity. Look, we spoke about a lot of other stuff because I'm interested in many things, and I don't want to only be pushing my agenda. You know,
No, you're a very interesting guy. You're a very interesting guy.
I don't want to just be pushing, and this guy just arrives here to advertise his healthy food. No, I'm more than just my own needs and what I want from things. And I mean, I'll talk about anything that you guys want.
We are not talking about your business. We are talking about your idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
know?
Thank you very
Your
much.
idea.
And your passion
you.
as well, because
Thank
this
you.
whole conversation, it's
Thank you.
more about passion
Yeah.
Listen,
than building something that will give you money.
McDonald's is giving you money, but
Listen, I can't, guys. I can tell you businesses.
getting
I can
my
tell you
money.
some businesses I can never be involved in. I can never sell junk food. I can't do it. You know, it's just, and believe me, I eat junk food every now and then. I mean, it's my favorite thing to go once every 2 weeks. I stop, and I'm not going to mention any brands. I stop and I have a cheat meal. I have a specific burger, and I have my little burger. But if you had to tell me I must do that every single day, it's not my thing.
It's not.
I like to be involved in businesses that's a feel good. I like to, when people say, see me and they say, listen, this guy, at the shop, I've got a lot of my clients come there, and I've got my body fat percentage measuring tool, because I can now to check body fat. So now my clients are like, you're helping with my food. Can you check my body fat? Sure. And now my one friend of mine, this guy, whose stomach came down, he says, I want you to check my body fat. I said, but why don't you go to a coach? He said, but I trust you. I said, okay, I'll do the body fat. So now I'm going to sell him food, and then I'm going to take him to my office and check his body fat for him. So, I like stuff like that. I like to, some of my clients asked me to work out training programs for them. I did that. Some of them actually want me to work their specific diet. I do that. Some of my clients say to me, listen, come with me. I want to go buy supplements, because I don't know. Okay, let's go. I'll look and say, which supplements do you want? And I suggest supplements, because it's all positive. You help the guys, and you help them with everything.
your favorite supplement? Your favorite?
I'm going to have to lie and say, not lie, I'm going to have to say my favorite supplement is Noel's supplement, Rise, to support him. I'm joking. So he's one of the shareholders of Rise, RYSE. The regional owner of Rise is called Nick. They're in Houston, Texas. The Rise supplements are really, really good. And then from South Africa, TNT Mercury, of course, my supplement brand. It's really good. We cannot bring it to Cyprus because some of the ingredients in there are illegal for Europe. I mean, we put in stuff like hygienamine, hydrochloride, hordenine hydrochloride, halostagin, huperzine A hydrochloride. I mean, these things are not legal. In South Africa, it's legal, but TNT Mercury, probably the best. That's the best supplement brand in South Africa by far. It's a hardcore supplement brand. I see there's a supplement brand here called USN. I mean, I know Albie from USN very, very well. He's from South Africa. USN is a South African brand, believe it or
Really?
not.
I thought it was an American.
No. USN is South African. I know Albie Geldenhuys personally. I was there when he started the brand. I saw the brand grow. It's a massive brand. It's much bigger than our supplement brand in South Africa, but it's very commercial. So they in all the commercial shops.
It is everywhere.
There's a chain called Dis-Chem in South Africa, and they in the Dis-Chem branches, and that's why their turnover was much bigger than ours. But we were the authentic hardcore brand. So I mean, we were legitimately
for the gym rats.
The real deal, If you want the real deal, it was our brand. Cool. And so for the real deal brands, TNT Mercury, USN is not a bad brand. I mean, it's not a bad brand. It's not on the level like TNT Mercury was. I mean, I know the formulations, I know the ingredients, I know how much effort we put into TNT Mercury to do those formulations. And I know for a fact that USN can't come to our formulations. But I see USN is here. And it's interesting when I talk to guys and I say, oh yeah, I know the owner, and they're like, oh, we thought it's American brand. I'm like, no, it's not. It's South African. It's from South Africa. I know when Albie started it, Albie Geldnys is a marketing genius. He's an absolute genius with marketing. So he's the kind of guy, I mean, some people have to go to university to study marketing. This guy knew it naturally. He knows how to choose the color. He knows how to name his product. He knows how to make his marketing campaign impactful. He's an absolute genius. It's like, some people have to learn to play the guitar. Yeah. Other people are born and they can just play the guitar.
That's true.
Albie can just play.
Genetics.
It's just, some people just got
Talent.
Albie has got raw talent with marketing. I'll give him that. He's not a fitness expert. He's not a fitness specialist, and I'll say it to his face. He knows me very well. I know him very well. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He's a marketing genius. Absolutely. You can't beat him on marketing. He's so good at marketing. I mean, he makes his brand look like it's something from America.
Just from out of space.
Heavenly.
Just from the way he does the coloring.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I can tell you how he started the brand. No lie. I don't know if you've ever gone camping.
Yeah.
Do you guys camp? Okay, so if you've gone camping for about a week and you want to wash your clothes, there's a little device. It's like a round thing. They call it a Sputnik. Mm-hmm. And you open it and you put your clothes in there with the washing and you spin it by hand. Mm-hmm. Okay? Albie started making his supplements in a Sputnik.
Well,
He used to pour creatine in there, pour flavoring in there, mix it, pour it in the tubs, close the tubs, put it in his car and sell. That's how he started.
oh, that's
I
crazy.
mean, it's crazy. It's a great story. It's unbelievable. Listen, what he achieved is unbelievable. But that's how he started. He made his supplements in a Sputnik, in a handheld camping washing machine.
Oh my God. Crazy.
1995, 6, I think that's when he started. I saw him. He was a traffic cop before. He was a policeman, traffic policeman in South Africa. But he's an absolute genius with marketing. He went from there to owning the biggest supplement brand in South Africa and exporting it all over the world. Give the man credit.
One of the biggest supplements companies in the world.
In the world, yeah. I mean, I remember when he was, what's the athlete, the Olympic competitor, the black guy from Ghana that he sponsored. I had it and then I forgot, sorry. It came to my mind and then I forgot.
USN sponsors him.
USN sponsored
It's
him.
not. I know another athlete, John Terry, I think.
Yeah, also Tom Coleman from Great Britain, the physique athlete. He sponsored him, and then there was I just forgot his name. Man. Neil Hill coached this. It's a Ghanaian athlete, and I know USN sponsored him. So yeah, USN really good brand. I'm glad to see them here in Cyprus. Well done to them.
Mm-hmm. Big shout out to them.
Big shout out to USN and the guys. I know the guys. I met the guys who's actually the distributor for USN here. I spoke to them. I met them at Ara Gym the one night. Lovely guys, great guys. I mean, I always wish the best for everyone, and I really wish the best for them too. But if you had to ask me which brand I would use in South Africa, TNT Mercury, hardcore brand, with ingredients that's so hardcore that you can't even import it to Cyprus.
So hardcore.
It's so hardcore. Like you can't. I mean, if you get your hands on this stuff, it's like rocket fuel, you know. Yeah,
the promo video you showed us the promo.
Oh
video,
yes,
right?
the promo
the one
video.
with the crate.
That's TNT Mercury. That's
crazy.
TNT Mercury. My partner back in South Africa is a guy called Matthew Holdenby. He's I think he's 2'11" tall. When he's lean and he's got no body fat, he's probably 150 kilograms, 160 kilograms. He's a monster big guy. He was the ex-MTN Gladiator. He was a gladiator for the MTN, those Gladiator series they had. He was one of those guys. A very nice guy. I do believe his supplement brand should be, he's the only one left there now. I've left. And in South Africa, he's still running the brand there. It's still there. And I would like to maybe he can find some of the guys that can import it from there. Some of the line They won't be able to bring all of it because not all of it will be allowed into Cyprus.
The hardcore will stay back.
Sorry?
Hardcore stuff will stay back.
The hardcore stuff, but they can try, you know. And if they can bring that to the Cypriot market, I think it will be good to have something from South Africa to go against the USN boys, you know, because in South Africa that's how it happens. It's the USN and TNT Mercury always in competition with each other. So why not do the same in Cyprus?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
bring the
Of course.
TNT brand and put it against the USN brand and see who performs better. You know, competition is great. Competition creates awareness. Awareness grows the market.
That's true.
You know, so it's good to have competition.
Better products.
It creates better product.
Yeah.
Even with me at Nutribar, hopefully we'll get more people that do what I do, and then I can have more competition.
Hopefully, of
And
course.
it
We need
yes.
with this healthy industry, we need to get bigger and bigger
Listen,
and bigger.
Cyprus has got 320 sunshine days. Everybody shows off skin. And look, one thing the
You see how sunburned
one thing Cypriots have, which I'm very jealous of, is the nice color skin. I love it. Like I battle. I mean, I'm Scottish descent, so it's very hard for me. It's very hard for me to have that dark skin. But
Complexity.
Yeah, I'm from Scottish descent. So, yeah, so skin is that. What if I want to be that color?
But your color is good. It's good.
But this is hard. This is hard work for me. Eh? super hard.
You born in
South Africa, yeah. But my grandfather's from Scotland.
Okay.
My grandfather's from Scotland. Yeah, so everybody's showing skin here in Cyprus, so the people who show skin should be in shape.
I heard that Scottish people respect the Cyprus people about the English
Yeah, listen.
occupation.
Listen, it's
History stuff.
I'm not. Here's the funny thing. So my grandfather's directly from Scotland. My name's is Joseph James Davidson, which you can't get more Scottish than that.
Yeah.
You know? So they changed my name in South Africa to Yaku because Scottish didn't work. You know, it was just. I went to Afrikaans high school, so I could speak Afrikaans, which is a dialect of Dutch. So I could speak a dialect of Dutch, which is Afrikaans. Scottish people fought with the British the same as everyone else. You know, in South Africa, we fought the British in the Boer War at the turn of the century. You know, I've got nothing against the British. Matthew, my partner in the supplement company, he's British, and we always joke around. And I've got nothing against the British. We fought the British in South Africa. The Dutch fought the British. The Scottish fought the British. I mean, a lot of people fought the British. You know,
they had
British had a lot of. I mean, they colonized a whole lot of countries all over the world.
Half of the planet.
Half of the planet. The difference is when the British tried in South Africa, they got beaten. We won the war. When we won the war in the turn of the century, that was when the British Empire really started buckling. The resources they poured into the war in South Africa. And the way, because so I'm half Scottish, and the other half is Afrikaans, Dutch. So my mother's line is Dutch, and these people fought the British. And then the other line this way is Scottish, and they also fought the British. And so when I was in South Africa, South African people don't know the difference between British and Scottish.
Yeah,
So-
because it's UK. You know?
Yeah, that's UK. So when I went to school, they used to think I'm British. And that's a problem, you know, because their grandfathers fought the British.
Yeah.
So then they used to say to me, you know, you just can't be that British name of yours, Joseph James Davidson, British name. I said, it's not British, it's Scottish. But it didn't work. So they changed my name in the school and they made my name the same as their name. You know, they gave me a Afrikaans
nickname.
Afrikaans nickname so I could fit in.
So yeah.
Does it
so you
mean
can fit
anything?
in.
Yeah.
Does it mean anything,
Yaku,
the nickname?
no, it's just a very Afrikaans
Okay.
name. It's very Afrikaans. I mean, if you know, I don't know if you guys know fitness influencer Yaku the Brain. He's also very famous. You can see him. He's got like 1.1 million followers on Instagram.
It's like Andreas in Cyprus.
Andreas, yes. Listen, a lot of Andreas. Yeah, if I have to change my name to match, I'll be Andreas Davidson. Andreas Davidson. It's a lot of Andreas.
Yeah,
so
that sounds good as
that's the background. But the British, the British fought with the South Africans, and we beat them. We beat them. Not we beat them bad, we beat them. And the Scottish, and my grandfather and my grandmother was Afrikaans, and my grandfather was Scottish. And the Scottish fought with the British, and so did the South Africans. And then we also fought with the Russians. Not that I've got anything, I love Russian people. We also went to war with the Russians for 26 years. And we won. For 26 years, all my uncles fought in the war. My father fought in the war. All my cousins fought in the war. Some of my friends fought in the Russian war. We fought with the Russians, and we held communism.
You're talking about 90s.
The war ended in 1992.
Before USA invades Iraq.
Yeah,
there was a Russian military
so,
operation.
Yeah,
there.
so back in the day, there was communism. So everybody tried to keep the communists out. Mm-hmm. So what the Americans used to do, because, listen, I'm very opinionated. I love America. I love what America's done to the world. They brought the cultural revolution. They brought rock and roll music. They brought Hollywood. It's a cultural revolution. What America contributed to the world is also insurmountable. So and I don't take that away from them. But what America's not very good at is fighting wars. They're terrible at that. I don't believe they as good as what they believe they are. They believe they're much better soldiers than what they really are. They fought Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, which wasn't there. But the American model is to have a proxy war. So what they'll do is they'll say, listen, we're not going to send American young men to the war. We'll go to war with Russia, but through Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't like that, because it's the Ukrainian people that suffer the most.
Yeah, but it's 3 decades propaganda to create that climate there. Governments come and go.
Yes.
Propaganda and 3 generations of people raised by they create the climate to have the conflict between Ukrainian people and Russian people.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It was.
Look, we were part.
It was a long-term plan.
It's a long-term plan. They run with it. They propagandize it, and then they want the war to happen, but not at the cost of their sons and their brothers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At the cost of the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
And where they benefit is they supply the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they make the money.
Mm-hmm.
The military-industrial complex in America is huge. It's making billions and billions. Robert F. Kennedy is my favorite politician at the moment in the world. Big respect for the man. If he becomes the new president of America and he becomes the leader of the free world, things will be better for all of us. He'll stop the wars. I'm anti-war. I don't like wars. I know what wars have done.
I think all of us.
War is hell. War is hell.
War is hell. Listen, when we fought the wars in South Africa, it was a whole different ballgame. We did go to war with the Russians, but the difference is we were really good at fighting wars. So what we did is, in the 26 years of war, the Russians lost 800,000 men. We lost 4,000.
800,000.
4,000. Nobody.
How?
Nobody wages war better than Afrikaans South Africans. We were really good at it. And the Americans used to fund us to fight the communists, but we took their money, but we never took their soldiers. And we went to war. Nobody did it better than us. No one. We fought the Russians in the middle of communism, and we held communism out. We won the war on behalf of the free world against communists. The Cubans were there, the Russians were there, they had MiG-29s, they had all the tanks, they had everything. But the casualties they took were, at most we had 5,000 people on the battlefield. 5,000. That's all we had. They would have 50,000 to our 5. We would beat them. But Okay, but we're a different nation. We're a whole different breed of people. We love going to the bush and shooting guns and living in the bush and hunting. And, you know, it's like, so you come to our backyard, it's going to be a problem. You never win. It's not possible, you know. And then we had apartheid. So, you know, apartheid was wrong. I voted against apartheid. I was an anti-apartheid activist. I was one of the first people that married across the racial barrier. I didn't believe there should be a division between races. I voted for Nelson Mandela back in the day. I was a very big supporter of Nelson Mandela. But what we received after that wasn't what I signed up for. You know, now people tell me, you know, my views are racist. It's not racist, you know. I mean, it's nonsense. I've got different views now because what we received is not what we got. And I even look at apartheid different now. I mean, back in the day, I was an activist against apartheid. Looking at it now, I look at apartheid through a whole different lens. I don't think apartheid was the right system, but I definitely don't think what we got after apartheid, that was worse, much worse, much worse. So somewhere in between apartheid, that was a bad system, and what we got in this corrupt version of democracy, somewhere in between, there should have been something better, and I don't know what that is. It's very difficult to figure out. It's very difficult to figure out, you know. But I'll say this with no reservations. I was against apartheid. I was against the division between. I mean, when I grew up, if I had to have a girlfriend and my girlfriend was not white, I go to jail for 5 years.
What?
You weren't allowed to. It wasn't allowed to mix. You weren't allowed to mix races.
That's crazy.
And that was crazy for me. You know, my ex-wife was Indian, believe it or not. She was Indian. Indian. Like
100% Indian.
Yeah, 100% Indian. And I couldn't, when I grew up, I couldn't understand why, because I like girls with black hair. Dark girls, dark skin. It's my preference. So, of course, when I see a girl, like an Indian girl, and she's pretty, my eye is going to go there, you know. So when I grew up and I was a young boy, and I used to look at these pretty Indian girls, and I used to think, why can't I date them, you know? And if I date them, I'm going to go to jail. That was apartheid. If I dated an Indian girl, I'd go to jail.
That's crazy.
That was apartheid. So that was the things about apartheid that I didn't like, that I think was wrong, and that's what I voted against. But what we received was totally corrupt, and it was a whole different thing. And looking back at apartheid now, I think the world needs, and I'm saying this very reluctantly with a reservation, and I'm hoping it doesn't get taken up the wrong way, but all nationalities are not the same. And people have different cultures, and there's different ways, and people have different religions. And there must be in every country a system in place that makes provision and space for every different culture. And if you break the cultures up and you mix people up too much, there's a lot of conflict. Look at what's happening in France at the moment. Because you've got all these immigrants that's going there. You know, and it's causing conflict, and we need to address these things. I saw a very interesting study the other day where they had all nationalities on which nationalities are the easiest to integrate with other nationalities and which ones are the hardest. It's very interesting, because if you're living in a neighborhood where you're a minority or majority, whatever it is, but you've got a different way of thinking than the rest of the people in your neighborhood, conflict starts, because when you've got Islam and the people on the speaker every night, maybe that upsets you because you don't want to hear the speaker, because that's not part of your culture. It's a stupid example, but that's where the conflict starts. It starts with, you know what, different cultures have got different traditions, and when these traditions start happening in a neighborhood and it offends the other cultures, then the conflict starts, then the argument starts. And it's very hard to make everyone match with everyone. It's extremely hard. You know, like I'm not unfamiliar with the Greek culture, and that's why I'm here. But I can't live in China. Not that I've got a problem with Chinese people, but the culture is too far removed from me. You know, I'm not racist when I'm saying this. I mean, go to China and look for yourself. I've been to China 58 times. I've got good Chinese friends. Professor Yonghui Deng, Fudan University, friend of mine. I mean, I know these people, lovely people, but I cannot live there. The culture is too different. So how do we find a space for everybody on this earth while respecting the diversity of all cultures and making them live and coexist with others? It's a very big question, and I don't have the answers. And when I read the study, it was a very interesting study where they show the most integratable culture is Filipinos, believe it or not.
Yeah.
A Filipino person can live with any culture in the world. They can live with the Chinese, they can live with Thai people, they can live in Greece, they can live in South Africa, and they always integrate and they always tend to get along with whoever they live with. Because firstly, they Far Eastern, okay, so they understand the Far Eastern way, but they're Catholic, so they understand Christian values.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's on this side. So if we know what's on this side, well, what's on the other side? The least integratable nationality on the earth, you won't believe, Chechens.
Ah, Tsetseni.
Chechen.
Russian Muslim
Chechens, yes.
people.
If you put more than 5 or 6, this is a study, a social science study, it's not my opinion.
They are warriors.
Yes, they're warriors.
Yeah,
Listen, I love the Chechens. Like they're warriors, they're strong men.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to integrate them in other societies, believe it or not. If you put, in this social science study I read, I can't remember who the professor was that wrote it, I need to go find it. It was very interesting for me because you're looking at all these nationalities and how to integrate them with other nationalities. But if you put a Chechenian in any society and there's more than 6 of them, they form a gang and they become violent.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm racist.
Their
I don't know Chechenians. I only read about them. I've never met a Chechenian in my life.
Khabib.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
So you need to put Philippines people with Chechenians so they can.
Yes. Maybe.
We'll see what's going on.
But
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is, apartheid was wrong because apartheid said no one can ever mix. That's on this.
Yeah.
That's on this side. So that's on this side of the argument. Okay. But what's on this side of the argument? On this side of the argument is everyone mixes. That's also wrong. It's also wrong. You need something in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
I've seen both sides. I've seen apartheid where they said no one mixes. Okay? Then they had everyone mix. It didn't work. South Africa's got 13 different African languages. Just in our country, South Africa. Official ones. Then there's unofficial. Unofficial more than another 20.
Yeah, but it's in school. Which
That's
language?
the problem. So you've got in South Africa, all Africans are not equal. Not all people are equal. Don't get me wrong.
In the eyes of the government, you mean?
Yes, should be. But all Africans are not. Let's reverse. Let me take the word equal out. Okay, let me try again. All Africans are not the same. They've got different languages. They've got different cultures. They've got different beliefs. Just in South Africa, we've got 13 different official African languages.
Yeah. My ex, she used to speak. She is from Zimbabwe,
Okay.
and she used to speak English, her mother's language, and her dad's language.
It was 2 African languages.
Yeah,
Which was the other languages that you spoke?
I can't remember.
Shona.
Shona, yeah,
Shona.
and
Ndebele?
Ndebele.
Ndebele is Zulu.
Yeah, and
Zulu.
Zulu.
Okay.
And I remember on the letter Q,
Yeah.
so they were doing the thing.
Yeah.
So they were speaking like.
Yes. Yeah. So the point is, now Shonas in South Africa get killed.
Why?
Okay, there's a history. The Shonas are the majority in Zimbabwe. The Ndebeles are the minority. But the Ndebele language is similar to the Zulu language. The Zulus are the majority in South Africa, and their closest relatives are the Ndebele's. But the Shaunas are the majority in Zimbabwe. So there was a genocide in Zimbabwe where the Shaunas killed, I think it was 35,000 Ndebele's in one day. Killed them. Okay? So now, because of this, the Zulus hold a grudge against the Shaunas, because the Shaunas killed their sub-tribe. So when the Shaunas come to South Africa, they don't speak the same language as any one of the other 13 tribes. That's problem number one. Plus, the language they speak is a language of a tribe that killed the Zulu tribe. So there's already this historical friction. What people don't understand, if you come to South Africa and you see Africans, it's not all the same. There's friction. And not even Africans live with other Africans in harmony. They kill each other. There's an interesting book you can read on the topic by Professor Richard Wrangham. He was a MacArthur Fellow, which means one of the genius of the world. It's called Demonic Males. We can have another podcast on that, and then we can discuss why people are violent and why people are violent to each other. And we have to discuss, it's very interesting. If you take away racism, then you've got xenophobia. Xenophobia means African tribes fighting with each other. So they're all the same color, but they speak different language. If you take that away, you get tribalism. People are very tribal. And even if you take racism and xenophobia away, you've still got tribalism. But these are all similar things.
I think it has to do with a tough life, because you can see in free countries like us, racism is, we become racist in extreme conditions, like prison. If you go in prison, we even in the USA, even in every country, every rich evolutionary country, I think in extreme conditions of need, when you lack certain privileges of the way you live, the resources, everything. I think this is the main reason that causes to get with your tribe, to get with your mates. So you forge a gang, like a gang, so you can be more. You can increase your percentage of surviving. You know,
The chances.
the chances to survive. I'm with your mates now. You can't hurt me. I'm with your mates. We are stronger together. So I think it have to do with the way they live their lives, the poverty they endure. I don't really know. This is my opinion.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I shared your opinion until I read this book about a year ago. So I used to think exactly, because it's reasonable. What you're saying is very reasonable, and it sounds like. And I used to be exactly so. So about a year and a half ago. Okay, listen, I'm 50 years old, so I'm still learning. And what's crazy is when I learn stuff that really shocks me. And I'm like, so the good news, there's actually no good news. There's just bad news here. Okay. The bad news is...
It's all bad news.
It's all bad news. Okay, so the bad news here, I'm going to refer to this book again. Professor Richard Wrangham, Demonic Males. The bad news here is it's much worse than that. Much worse. it's so much worse that violence is part of our DNA. It's in our genetic makeup. And unless we understand exactly what it is, and this Richard Wrangham wrote his thesis on this, and he's rated, it was so mind-blowing, but it's a very long discussion. We can get into it. It's
We can get into it next time because
time.
we really
yeah, listen, we can talk forever. But if you guys want to talk about this,
Genetics.
listen, if you want to talk about,
I want to talk
if
about
you want
it.
to listen, I'll tell you what we must do. But then I must be more prepared. Like like this time, I mean, I came in very informal. I'm just shooting off the cuff.
Yeah, me too.
But if you want to have an in-depth conversation, then I will go open my book, Demonic Males. I'll read through it again, and we can discuss that book at length. I watched.
No one is born bad and evil, and even if someone does the wrong thing, he finds an excuse for his actions, and so
it's not about good or bad.
He thinks it's not about that.
So I'll give you if you want to watch something and not read the book, because the book is quite hectic. So I read the book, and then I watched Professor Jordan Peterson. I'm a huge Professor Jordan Peterson.
I saw him. I saw him live in Nicosia.
I had a photo with him.
I saw your photo, by the way.
Yes, I've got a photo with him. On your point, I have to get back to your point. When we started and then we have to stop, because otherwise we're going to talk forever. So on your point, let's conclude with this, and then. Jordan Peterson, I'm standing in the queue. I want to meet him. I'm like so nervous.
I was reading that post you wrote yesterday.
Gratitude. Okay. So I'm standing in the line, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to ask him about this. I'm going to ask him about that. And I've got 1,000 questions. And I've got notes, and I've got things, and I've got 1,000 questions. And I think to myself, what I'm going to ask him, I paid for my tickets. I want to get something from him. And I thought, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're not here to get anything. You paid your tickets and you came today to support what he's doing, not what he gave you tonight, what you've heard from him for the years you've been listening to him. And he gave it for free on YouTube. So tonight I'm spending money, even if I'm getting nothing tonight. I'm here to show gratitude. Here's my gratitude. Thank you, sir.
Nice.
I said, and then I heard everyone ask him questions. And I stayed last in the line. I was lost. And he was already, and he's so nice. He was answering everyone, and he was saying, and he was taking the one guy aside, making notes for him, speak to your doctor about this medicine. And he really took the time. And when I got up, he said to me, good evening, sir. What is your name? I said, my name is Joseph Davidson. He says, pleased to meet you. He says, is there anything you would like to, I said, no, sir, nothing. I said, I want to say thank you. Just gratitude. That's why I'm here. Thank you. That's it. And I saw you looked at me. I said, that's all. That's the only reason I'm here for tonight. To show gratitude. That's it. To your point earlier. Gratitude. Gratitude.
He liked that, huh?
I hope so. I don't know. I hope so.
You can ask him.
I hope so. I hope so. Listen, it's from my heart.
We can have him on the
It's from my heart.
At some point.
He helped a lot of people.
He helped a lot of people, and I felt it's most appropriate at that point just to show gratitude.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Just say thank you. And that's what I did. But Peterson had the same discussion we had with Professor Wrangham, who wrote that book, Demonic Males. And Jordan Peterson went, oh my God, it's much worse than what I thought. It's much worse. Like, even when I read the book, I was like,
okay,
this is bad, man. But once you understand it, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
it makes more sense. But we can talk about that another time. Thank you for everything, guys.
Again, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you, Chris, Giannis,
It was a
Louis.
pleasure.
Thank you,
It was
guys.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Κάπου εδώ να κλείσουμε.
Beautiful
Ευχαριστούμε
experience.
πάρα
Beautiful
πολλά.
experience. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Ευχαριστούμε
you.
πάρα πολλά τον Τζοζεφ που ήταν μαζί μας σήμερα. Προκαλώ οποιοδήποτε που να ακούσει το podcast μέχρι το τέλος, προκαλώ σας να πάτε στο Nutribar, να δοκιμάσετε έστω και μια φορά το φαΐν του, έστω και μια εβδομάδα το φαΐν του, να δείτε τεράστια διαφορά, να φυλάξετε πάρα πολύ χρόνο για τον εαυτό σας.
Και guys, πραγματικά δεν καταλάβεις ότι δεν είναι φρέσκο το φαΐ. Φάμε εμείς.
Μα είναι.
I think you told us when you brought us the food the time that we came to Nutribar, you asked us, how do you think this food is? And it was like 3 months in the fridge, in the freezer.
Oh, yes. What we did is we had 3 different meals. The one was cooked the same time. That was the schnitzel. And then I can't remember what. So I took one meal out that was just cooked, like now. One meal that was 1 month old and one meal that was 3 months in the fridge.
We didn't understand any difference.
And I packed the food out and I said, taste all of it. Tell me which one was cooked now and tell me which one was cooked 3 months ago. Can't see the difference.
Καμία διαφορά στα αίματα. Και πίστεψτε με, δεν το λέμε ούτε για να διαφημίσουμε παραπάνω τον άνθρωπο τίποτε. Δοκιμάστε το μια φορά. Να θέλαμε πάρα πολύ να ακούσουμε την απόψη σας για αυτό το πράγμα. Να βοηθήσει πάρα πολύ κόσμο. Again, thank you for coming to us.
It was a pleasure.
We'll see you again for sure.
Let's bring Louis to the shop.
Yeah, of course.
Lunch will be on Nutribar.
Λοιπόν, κάπου εδώ κλείουμε. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ που μας ακούτε.
Ciao.
Θα ζούμε στο επόμενο.